The reason so many parents of XXY children don't know when to tell their child that they're XXY, or that they've got other perceptions of life. They see things just slightly differently. Doesn't mean weirdly differently or anything, but just XXYs do actually think differently. We react differently, and I mean differently in comparison to technical, normal XY children. Yeah? And I think one of the biggest problems of telling your child that they're XXY is that they might go and just tell that freely to all the other school children, and then cause a little bit of mayhem in the school playground or the school environment, because teachers and pupils might not actually get it themselves, because not every child is taught that in school. Children are not being taught about intersex issues and intersex conditions, and therefore people are still being led to believe it's just boys and girls. Whereas if we're going to call an XXY child a boy, then XXY boys, most of them don't feel completely like boys. It doesn't mean that they're going to be transsexual, and it doesn't mean that they're going to be homosexual. It just means that many XXYs in their adult life understand their gift, and it is a gift, parents, their gift of having the extra X chromosome, if we're looking at it that way, with an extra X chromosome. XY is normal, we've got an extra X chromosome. Technically on that level you can say we're abnormal. I disagree with all these names, by the way, parents, these labels. Abnormal, I don't think so. Disease, certainly not. A disorder, no. A handicap, it can be a handicap in some certain situations, but as a whole our condition is having XXY chromosomes. It's not a handicap, it's a gift. So if you can try and explain to your child the best way you can that it's actually alright, what's probably going to hurt them most is the fact that they'll find out that they won't be able to make children in the most normalist of ways, more than likely, so that they're not going to have, like, the way I look at it is, from my parents' point of view, is like, they had me, they brought me up, and now I can't have children, so I've nobody to bring up, so I don't feel as if I'm going to have that same experience, but anyway, that's just me waffle video here. I wanted to really just make this short for you parents out there, because I'm with you in spirit, and I'm also obviously with you in reality, in virtual reality, for chats and stuff like that, and I'm talking to many mothers these days, not too many fathers, which is not highly surprising, to be honest with you. That's why all mothers of XXY children should be extremely happy, because no matter how much you want your son to be macho man when he's older, and he more than likely will, naturally, let's hope, not because parents want him to be, I think all children should be allowed to be themselves. They were born individually into this world. Okay, fair enough, twins and stuff like that, triplets, okay, not individually, but technically still individually, yeah. One came out before the other, so we were all individually brought into the world, and we are all individuals, and I understand the concerns of parents of wanting to condition their children into certain behaviours because that's the way their family is. I completely understand that, but just on the level of gender expression, it's still being taught. It's still being taught. Excuse me for half picking my nose there, and the camera going up my nostrils. But it's hard to tell your child that he is what he is, or what they are. But I'd love if parents could encourage their XXY child just to be themselves, the best selves that they can be, because I think the fact even if you do inject your XXY child with testosterone at an early age, I am sure that will not suppress the internal makeup of brain and body of your XXY child. I think your XXY child will always feel more comfortable knowing that they're XXY, because it will explain so much of what they think in their brain, and then they see their peers, which are normally boys, and the boys aren't doing any of the stuff that we're doing. Now I'm not saying we as in all XXYs. I don't want to blanket every XXY child as being like me, but I just want to say that there are a lot of XXY children like me, and a lot of adults like me, in the thinking process of saying, well, yes, I am male, but technically speaking I am male, let's say, for the world right now of male and female, I'm male, okay, but I'm an extra added bit of female in my male, and that's natural, and I'd nurture that instead of rejecting it. And I know there's a lot of parents out there who will ignore this video and they'll say, well, you're just a nutcase, and he's a boy, he's got a penis, and he's going to be a man, and blah blah blah. And I'll say, well, technical level for your life, yes, he will be a man, because he'll be a boy in your eyes, and boys grow up into men, that's true. But XXY children tend to have a lot more issues than people of their peers in school. And it's not just from learning. I think the learning difficulties are actually a big problem, more to do with bullying and being seen as an idiot or stupid because you don't open your mouth and talk because you're shy and scared out of your mind to open your mouth. Not every XXY, I'm not blanketing every XXY here with these statements, okay? And so the learning difficulties is not because we're stupid in the brain. It's more to do with our concentration levels, that we get easily distracted. Again, I'm not blanketing everybody, because not every XXY has every symptom that's in Klinefelter syndrome. Plus, Harry Klinefelter didn't observe and study people with XXY chromosomes or the other variants of Klinefelter syndrome. He didn't study them widely enough. He used 9 men, people. 9 men, please, out of the whole world, and based XXY individuals on 9 men. And it's been done to all other syndromes as well. So I don't thank Harry Klinefelter for the diagnosis of what Klinefelter syndrome is. I do thank Harry Klinefelter, however, for standing his ground and actually staying and sticking with the subject and trying his best and discovering it in the first place. Yeah, okay. So, and I continue to make videos to try and bring up the real issues concerning being who we are in this planet, and discussing it as baby talky as I can so that everybody can understand. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you got something from it. If you have any questions, I don't think I need to say that. I think it's fairly obvious. People know. You can contact Peace and Party pretty much anywhere, and people do, and so far so good. I mean, it hasn't taken up that much of my time. I have spent a lot of time talking to people, and I talk with everybody, and some people end up being lurkers or stalkers or whatever, but you've got to take each person as an individual and total faith and trust that they've got good intentions, and I always have good intentions. So when I get into crap, I know I'm in crap, so I'm not a person who's in denial, and that's one thing, the denial. Like, if parents have high expectations for their child to turn into a certain sex, very highly sensitive subject. If your child happens to be one child who, for instance, may want to end up being a transsexual because they don't feel as if they're born in a right body. I think there's a lot of transsexuals that are XXY and don't know it. That's not to suggest that all XXYs do or will or would feel like that they need to change their sex. But there certainly are a percentage of intersex people that are trans and don't know it. And I'd like to weed out those people, just not in a spotlight or anything, just to try and discuss with them intimately how they are actually feeling within themselves, without feeling that they have to perform in front of the public, which is the society. And I feel there's too many performers in this world, because we're always being pushed to perform our best and whatever. And XXY children are performing their best even when they fail. I want your parents to understand that when they're failing, they need you the most. They're trying their best, but it's so hard for an XXY sometimes. Peace.